Hello everyone and welcome back to Amazing Frequencies channel, and today we have the lovely Alison. She's agreed to join me for another chat. She's our quantum nurse, and today we're going to cover something that you probably wouldn't think of covering because it's not the most obvious thing, but amazingly March is the month of the gallbladder, and most of us don't know what the gallbladder does and how important it is. And many people like myself has had their gallbladder out, but we have been learning some really fun facts and some interesting things about the gallbladder. So we need you to buckle down to learn a few bits and pieces and top tips for spring to make you feel fit and healthy. So over to you. Hi, Alison.
Well, welcome to the spring equinox. And yes, it's we're in rhythm. Our gallbladder and liver apparently is in rhythm with the spring time where we spring clean, and that's exactly what the gallbladder does. It acts as a washing machine, and the liver, it's like gallbladder is more active between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 p.m. And that's when we all need to be resting. And what I found, how critical that is, because, oh gosh, people, they have their gallbladder whipped out here and there. And I've realised that there's a general consensus that everybody is under the illusion that the gallbladder, we don't need it. And as Judy and I have discovered, it does quite an awful lot and very complex. I will try and keep it simple, Judy, because I think we'll stick to the good bits.
Give us a fun lowdown. So top tips of how the gallbladder works. What's your kind of 60-second take on it? How's this work?
What I discovered was the gallbladder, it washes in and washes out the food. It's digested, broken down by the liver, the food processes it, it delivers the enzymes, and the liver sends it and exits it. It goes through the gallbladder and it gets washed like a soap. It's a green bile. It's called bilirubin. It's green and it's broken down hemoglobin, the red blood cells. So what does that mean? It's full of cholesterol, 99% cholesterol, Judy. Wow. And the other 1% is the mineral salts, which are very, very important. And what happens is the gallbladder spits this out, and it relies on a really good lymphatic system, because that's a pump that is activated by our movements. We have this idea that the heart is the biggest pump. Well, it's the lymphatic system that's actually the delivery system. And so what happens is the bile gets spat out, squirts through the sphincter of the gallbladder, and it's stimulated from your pituitary gland in your brain, and it activates a neurotransmitter that sends it down the vagus system, the vagus nerve, and it tells the gallbladder sphincter when to open, something called acetylcholine. And it's a neurotransmitter. And this squirting action is what, when it's going through the washing machine, squirts out all the toxins ready to go and be, go through the system again. It's complicated. And the food that we eat and digest, well, we really shouldn't be eating late at night. And we made some right discoveries about that. And I, particularly from my nursing background, on nights, lo and behold, I would get bloating, burping, and lots of issues overnight when I should have been resting in bed. You know, doing these night shifts are not that great. And I had a gallbladder episode, and it's really the most painful, excruciating thing, these gallstones. And I realised between the hours of 11 and 1, we'd have just had our snacks, 10:30 at night, and there it would start. Yeah. And really, we should be resting. So sleep is very, very critical. It does allow this liver cleansing and food processing to work through, to exit the liver, to go to the gallbladder, gets washed through. And these toxins are designed to squirt at the right time so that our bodies can get rid of it. We breathe it out. The lungs start kicking in the night. Asthma, does that come when we're waking up? with the asthma and breathless issues, it's because the lungs are doing a lot of excretion when we're breathing, and we're getting rid of the toxins that the liver and the gallbladder has generated.
It's so underestimated in terms of how important sleep at night is. And of course, there's been millions of studies about all of this stuff. But let me just share one of the things that we were talking about that you were sharing with me before we came onto this Zoom. And that is about coffee. Sorry if anyone, it's raining really hard outside here, so I'm sorry that's coming on the recording. But coffee. So most people will get up and have a cup of coffee. That's, you know, just how our lives often are. It gives you a kickstart for the day. But what I didn't know was that, as you've said, between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., that gallbladder is filling up with bile ready for the next day. And if you drink a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, it empties all of that bile out, and then you've got nothing left for the rest of the day, which means all the food that you eat has got no bile to process it, and probably, dare I say, a contributing factor to burping and doing other things, bloating, because that could all be attributed to what you did first thing in the morning. And you just do these things without thinking about them. So, yeah.
So when you think about it, when we have our gallbladder whipped out, because it's the most painful thing, you'd get rid of a leg, wouldn't you?
Sure is.
It's really hurting. You want it out. When you think about that, you're trickling through the daytime all the toxins. Gentle trickle, and it's not good for the body, obviously, because we've got ways of excreting these things, and it should come naturally out the bowel and sorted. And there are ways, simple things we can do to alleviate these issues, especially if you've had your gallbladder removed, and just looking after the fact that late at night, the last thing we should do is, apart from not eat some up or not eat, in fact, after whatever in the evenings, by 11 o'clock, last thing we need to be doing is to take some fibre. Like, I can't say this, Judy, I have a problem with Phylicium, is it?
Psyllium husk.
Psyllium, yeah.
Psyllium, but with a P.
Psyllium, yeah, and psyllium. You know, spoonful in your smoothies. Or I take it with water because I'm quite brave that way. A big stir, straight down the hatch. And then, of course, when your liver starts to activate and your gallbladder starts to do the cleaning, that fibre takes all the toxins down with it. By the morning, by the time your bowel starts to kick in and the digestion is done, that's by, is it 5 a.m, Judy?
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Yeah, 5 a.m. in the morning.
That's when it's all starting to kick in.
Yeah. And so, of course, you've got good stools, and they've got what needs to be in the toilet, or everything that your body is trying to, you know, cleanse from. And that's a really good tip, really. And lots of water with psyllium, because it can be quite jellified, and you know, you need water, and hydration is number one for your bowels. For one, if we get dehydrated, the water goes out of the bowel and it reconstipates and, you know, hardens the stools. What a subject! But you know, nurses are really obsessed with bowels, aren't we? But there you go. So olive oil, cayenne pepper, lemons. Put that in a nice 30ml shot in the morning, first thing in the morning, gets that squirt going in a positive way. And olive oil, obviously, it's a good emollient, isn't it? It greases the gallstones that are nicely there. We've all got them, apparently. And the gallstones can get quite hard. They can get stuck in the bile duct, as can worms, I found out. My goodness. And we need to keep everything oiled, like an engine.
The other thing that I've done is I've got some castor oil, and I've made it into ginger tea. So a teaspoon of castor oil at night, hot water with some root ginger, chop it up, and then I've taken that before I go to bed, and that kind of has helped me as well. And
brilliant. I think the tissue salts are quite healthy as well, aren't they? Is it the sulfur, nat sulfur, nat phos, sulfur type foods, peppers, garlic, onions, those things, they help the bloating and the belching and discomfort really from digestion. And of course, when your gallstones are playing up, it affects the upper shoulders.
So
and
painful.
But yeah, it's the vagus nerve and where it all comes down your spine, all the nerves get the attention, don't they? Of course, milk thistle's really good for cleansing the liver to start with. And I think it's prevention, really. We could avoid a lot of these things if we incorporate some good habits, good eating habits. And the main goal of the gallbladder is to energize us, really, because it looks after the mitochondria, the energy, ATP, neurotransmitters in the energy, our batteries. What gives us energy through the day. So good sleeping patterns, obviously, is number one. And we need to get into that theta brainwave, sleeping, deep sleep, to allow our gallbladder and liver to do its job. It's detoxing. All that bilirubin,
What's bilirubin?
Bilirubin is what's broken down by the liver. And when the red blood cells die, because they only live so long, it takes about 90 days for the body to degenerate the red blood cells. So when they die off and they break it off, it takes about 90 days. And it becomes bilirubin. And that's the bile, that's the green bile that gets stored in the gallbladder. But it's a soapy consistency, and it's about 99% of cholesterol and 1% of mineral salts, and it's like a soap. So it's there to clean. So when the liver's sorting all the processes out through the enzymes digesting, your liver enzymes are very important for food breaking down, and then sorting out it's like a little factory, sorts out what the body doesn't want. And the gallbladder, it goes through the washing machine. I keep saying this washing machine. And that's how the bile works with it. It's an oily consistency. And if our cholesterol's not right and food's not right, and I don't know, if our diet could be better, the gallstones can harden, can't they? And they can get stuck in the basin of the gallbladder. And it's not until we get into real trouble and one of the gallstones ends up going up the bile duct. And the bile ducts are only very thin, about 1.5 centimetres. And of course, we get obstructive gallbladder disease and then it can rupture. And this is why we have to have our gallbladders out. So go easy on all you guys who have had the gallbladders removed, because not all is lost. I think that's the message today, because there's a lot of myths about gallbladders. And when we just look and we're given the tools to just adjust our lifestyles and habits of what we can do, I think it's a real good positive move. And just increasing your fibre at night, that did it for me.
And also the B vitamins, especially B20, which comes from like egg yolks. And so egg yolks are very good for cleaning the gallbladder, aren't they?
It's lecithin, is it?
Lecithin.
Lecithin. Makes acetylcholine. That's the neurotransmitter.
Acetylcholine.
That gets that spurting going with the gallbladder.
Anyway, well, that was lots of top tips today. Thank you so much. And we might come back to the gallbladder, or we might move on to other bits and pieces, but hopefully a few sort of takeaways from there. And let's do another Zoom soon.
Absolutely. I look forward to the next challenge. Gallbladder, tough one. Oh, Rosie agrees.
Yeah, I can hear Rosie down there. Yeah, the love of a dog.
Right, bye for now, and enjoy the spring equinox.
You too.
Gallbladder.
Thanks then.
Bye.
Bye.